Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the DOXX Report. Retired, 72 years of age, peptide therapy free, senior citizen receiving Social Security payments, in fact, tomorrow. In addition, MAGA member and proud of it. I live a holistic, that is mind, body, spirit, a lifestyle, fitness, embracing spirituality, and keeping my mind right. I broadcast from Frank. Where are we at?
Del Boca Vista?
Small talk. And let's see. Morty's Diner. We'll get to that. Dr. Phil, George Knapp, and Robert Bigelow. That's interesting. So let's just hop right in. Senior citizen. You're going to have health problems, bumps and challenges. I twisted my lower back. Update is, for right now, I'm pain-free. Well, but the answer was in the garage. I had the, what do they call it? A workbench in there, but I have a stool, 36-inch stool, which I am sitting on now, which keeps my back straight. I had to elevate the mic. I had to order some mic stems off the kitchen. So I'm going forward, even when the back completely heals, I was always getting, kind of back pain anyway. So I'm really thinking this is a blessing that, sometimes it is when you push it too far, you think you can just keep doing it. You can't. So hopefully I'll get back on the sit-up board someday. But no more crossovers. It'll be just straight. And I do see my doctor in 2 weeks, and that's fine. I usually go in there with no complaints, but this time, twisted lower back. I can still touch the floor. I have flexibility, but I can't that twisting motion. Or when I get out of bed, man, And so today was rehab. I worked out Monday, and I get my aerobic in. I have to do one bicycle and two treadmills, fast walk. And then, of course, my stretching, which is more important than anything because that's for the back, which I first do. And I got on all fours and I started moving my pelvis around. I was almost in tears. But that's rehab. What is rehabilitation? It's just supervised exercise. But I'm disciplined enough I can do it, and got out of there. And then I made a haircut appointment. And I told the barber when I got there, I said, listen, I can get in the chair. It may take me a little while to get out of the chair. but it worked. I mean, it was okay. And now I'm home, and if I feel pain, I'll get up and walk around a little bit. But now I'm upright. I got the Mac bent so I can see it. And we'll just go from there. So bumps and challenges. So got that out of the way. And I got my lab results. I was having all that pulled pork. I'm fine. Everything in line. I got no complaints. I'll see what the new doctor tells me. I went in there Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. I'm all checked in. And at 2:30 in the afternoon, I get an email, and I can go through the portal. I download my lab results. So how about that? I got to tell you about a program. The Horology Dungeon, latest episode with Eddie, the Disenfranchised Club, Eddie's Quest for Cheap Gas. You got to watch that. The 30-minute mark when Pasta comes on, between Pasta and Eddie, it is really good. So if you're interested in that kind of material, and I get questions about Horology Dungeon, who really owns it? Did it really sell? I think it did. I mean, Archie got the money for it. But I think Pavel called it correctly. It's Tenzil. It's his playground. So Archie's not coming through, so he's just going to do the Horology Dungeon. And who's the owner? The technical owner? I really don't know. I don't know. But Tenzil's doing the money, so... And... Greenroom's trying to manage it or run it. That's going to be tough because he's got his own channel. What does he do with that one? What has he done there? So he's trying to get the talent together, and they've been offering other people chances to go on, but I can't. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Who knows? How come I can't hang on? That's what I'm looking for. Okay, lab result. Oh, so I get this. I get a big envelope from Toyota, America, U.S. Toyota, my CR Toyota Corolla. And I think, what the heck is this? It's a very, very large envelope, and I'm thinking, what, are they going to give me an extended warranty? What's going on? I thought they were selling something. And what I got was a window sticker. Well, what the hell's that about? Because the window sticker, when I bought the car, it said I had the premium stereo with subwoofer. There was no subwoofer. So they had to send me another one saying, well, you didn't pay for it, but it did say subwoofer, but there is no subwoofer. Okay, great. I'm 72. I don't need to hear boom, 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 boom. You know, so and plus it'll take up some space somewhere. So that's okay with me, but that was kind of interesting. And of course, they took out all the dealer prep stuff, so you just got the window sticker. Oh, okay, somebody's just making a copy of it. So far, so good with it. I enjoy the car. Getting compliments on it from guys, but so they gave me the window sticker switcheroo. And then I also got a check, believe it or not, from State Farm. So never, even though you leave the insurance company, don't rip up those letters because you don't know what's inside it. It was a check for $165.25. And it says, well, this is your dividend because, well, why didn't you just reduce my rate? Maybe I would have stayed there, you know? So that was kind of strange, getting a check from the insurance company that I left. Well, what do we got here? Dodger. Let's see. Dodger, good evening. Docs, hope all is well with you in the villages. Yeah, I'm feeling better. I'm telling you, don't ever take your health for granted. I mean, I just thought I was like, man, I get in there and knock it out, and now I'm an old man. But I've learned a lesson. And Dodger greets the chat. And again, if you haven't caught it, go over to Horology Dungeon. Eddie's Quest for Cheap Gas, about the 30-minute mark. Gold. It is gold. What else have we got? So let's see, did that. So the S&P 500 went up 2% like in one day. So I went into ChatGPT. 'Cause don't give me the politics. Everybody tries to spin it. Just give me the hard economic facts about why did the S&P 500 pop up like that. So I will share that with you. Why? My question was, why is the S&P up 2% today? No opinion, political journalism, activism, responses. Economics only, thank you. Because S&P is up 2% primarily because two major valuation pressures ease simultaneously: energy costs and earnings uncertainty. Economic drivers: oil fell roughly 5%. Treasury yields declined as inflation expectations eased. Now, you're not going to get this on the news, global corporate media. Corporate earnings are substantially exceeding forecasts. Technology and semiconductor stocks are providing outsized index support. Specific earnings surprises reinforce the broader rally. Bottom line, today's rise is fundamentally a combination of lower expected energy inflation, lower discount rates, better than expected corporate profits, and powerful technology semiconductor rally. Oh, that good news. You're going to get that on CNN, MSNBC, CBS News, ABC News? No, you'll never get that. Of those, the sudden fall in oil and the resulting interest rate relief appears to be the main catalyst, turning an earnings rally into a broad, approximately 2% S&P 500 advance. Very good. I like that. And not to make anybody fill the press, but there's a guy claiming to be a 1%er in the United States. I had to look that up. I don't know what, a 1%er. So I went into ChatGPT again, and they used the latest comprehensive Federal Reserve survey of consumer finances 2022 data, released in 2023. The approximate U.S. household net worth, not earnings, but net worth thresholds are to be in the top 1%. You must have $13.7 million net worth. Well, he's got 10, so I can't wait to see him. He's not a top 1%er. This is the guy with the, how should I say it? The Brazilian girls that he's showing off all the time. And top 5% is 3.8 mil. Well, what's the top 10%? 1.9. Oh, so EDM, everyday multimillionaire, I'm top 10%er. So I'm not asking for your money. I don't need your money. Dodger agrees. Yep, I know exactly what you were saying, Docs. Getting old, not so easy. Well, I subscribed to this nurse for a while on isn't that pretty shot, the color? It's clouded up. Oh, say goodbye to the hedge. It ain't going to be there. I've had it. I'm done. It's a blessing, again, that this lower back, I twisted my lower back because I'm going, what am I doing out there? 2 days, perspiring, 2 mornings, doing this stuff, and I don't look forward to it. It's gone. It is gone. Now, it's going to cost a couple of grand. Now, one guy at the fitness center, he paid $6,000 to have his hedge ripped out. But this is the reason you deal with contractors that know what they're doing. They live here. He had a different idea. We're going to just cut it right to the ground. And then I put in a, what do you call it? The architectural review request into the Del Boca Vista. But I didn't give them any plans because I want some help with it. I want perimeters. I don't want to get a detailed plan and they come back. Oh, we don't allow that rock. Oh, we don't allow that size of rock or something. So she called me. I missed the call. I called her back, and she said the rule is any size rock, natural colors. I go, so they don't want painted rocks. So you can't get rocks and, paint them red, white, and blue, which would probably look cool out there, big rocks. They're expensive. In fact, I asked the contractor, because he called me back today. He said big rocks are expensive. So I'm thinking either riprap or just big river. I want something to where if a knucklehead in one of those golf carts decides to cross it, it grabs him. There's no way he's going to get over that, whatever that is. So he said he'd be here Friday. So I discussed some ideas with him. I had another idea, but he's got the best, really. And then I'll never have to go out there because I never look forward to it. It's just like, oh God, And now it's easy because all the other stuff, trimming around the house, the landscaping is easy peasy. I mean, you just do a little here, a little there. In fact, I found 2 palm tree seedlings as I drove in. I could see them popping up. You learn to recognize stuff and just dig it out right there. Keep an eye on things, So I'm looking forward to that, see what he has to say. Teen Tickers greets the Dodger. I have hurt my arm. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Park bencher. I have hurt my arm badly, not sure if I can keep up the work I need to do. I know, you can't. You gotta think about functionality, So if I can get to the gym, the fitness center, and even just do this rehab, if this is all I have to do, all I can do from here on out, well, it's still not bad. I still got my exercise in. I feel better. And the back pain disappears for a while. I was thinking about going in tomorrow, but I'm going to stick with the 4 days a week. Yeah, everybody can see you, tickers. Dodger, can you see me? Yeah, you're here. You're back. Welcome aboard. Dodger greets tickers, hopes he's well, wish you were. Yes, I can see you, Ticks. Cheers, mate. Okay. Tickers, you get a job yet? You got to get a job. At your age, you got to keep working. In fact, I was talking to a lady today. Listen, I'm not a financial guru, but you can't, if you don't have your house paid off, you can't retire. So, and now she's saying, well, I'm going to get the lump sum retirement and I'm going to pay off the house that they just bought. I don't think that's the best move, because they're not spring chickens. And he's got health issues, and they're in love. You know, they love each other. And if you're in the house, if one dies, the odds are you're not going to keep the house, right? My thinking is. So why not keep your retirement and use that for your payments on the house? But she still wants to keep working, which she's going to have to. So I don't know. Dave Ramsey, I don't know what he would say, but because let's say she pays off the house. Okay, now that's all your money there. All your money's tied up. Well, and what happens? You got to put him into, you got to get it sold. Let's say your husband needs medical, something. Well, you got all your money in the house. You're going to take out a second mortgage? You're going to take a HELOC? You're going to go do an Archie HELOC on it? No. So I don't know what I'm going to tell her. He's trying to get some work. Ronnie had a massive operation. Lucky I had insurance. Yeah, you adopted kids, basically. Doggies. I had a guy knock on my door, and I showed him he wanted to see the bird cage, see the canopy. Once he found out, I'm sure, how much it costs, he's going to go, no way. But I want to talk to him again because he lives very close to Donnie and Reggie. I want to know, did they sell that? Are they still around, or are they still, what's going on with that? I want to, I'm a concerned neighbor, okay? All right, where are we at? So let's get rid of the S&P 500. Doing very well. I mean, it's amazing. And I've heard all the gloom and doom. Grew up with it. Oh, Trump and the reporter. Now, this is on the auto pen. I thought this was very interesting. So let me play you let me get the graphic. Where's the graphic? Auto pen thumbnail. Let's go with the graphic. Hang on. Okay, now, she was breaking the news on Fox News, and she says, let me read exactly what he said so you can know. All right, now you see if she reads this exactly. You tell me. Fox News auto pen.
President Trump, this is just happening, posting on Truth Social moments ago that he is canceling all of former President Biden's executive orders, saying he was not involved due to the auto pen process. Let's bring back Dana Marie McNichol. Dana Marie, what can you tell us?
Alicia, good afternoon. Well, I can tell you that President Trump is at the golf course, but of course he is posting on Truth Social some shocking news. I do want to read you exactly what he posted. He said, quote, any document signed by Sleepy Joe Biden with the auto pen, which was approximately 92% of them, is hereby terminated and of no further force or effect. He says the auto pen is not allowed to be used if approval is not specifically given by the United the president of the United States. He also says in that post, quote, I am hereby canceling all executive orders and anything else that was not directly signed by crooked Joe Biden because the people who operated the auto pen did so illegally. He goes on to say in that post, Joe Biden was not involved in the auto pen process, and if he says he was, he'll be brought up on charges of perjury. He says, thank you for your attention to this matter. Of course, this was just posted moments ago to Truth Social. Again, the president, as we know, following him is at the golf course. So, of course, we're hoping to confirm and get any more information about this. Alicia.
Thank you, Stephen. Jesus. Jesus. See, I can't see the red button. Next time I have to push it away. So she was supposed to read it word for word, but she left it out, right? Did you see that paragraph? Let's bring it back here. Thank you, Stephen. I haven't streamed for a while. Holy God. Oh, well, that's no good. Here we go. So you heard the sound bite, right? But the second paragraph, she left out, the radical left lunatics circling Biden around the beautiful Resolute desk in the Oval Office took the presidency away from him. She didn't read that. So when she says, oh, let's read what he said, always check for yourself, whether it's Fox News, CNN, doesn't matter, MSNBC, CBS News, ABC News. So that's the auto pen. Thank you, Stephen L. Ooh, do. Beautiful day out there. Oh, you want the weather? I think you want the weather. It's going to be a hot one. No rain. I'm going to have to water in the morning. Let's see. 93 degrees, cloudy. The high will be 95. Oh, is it dry? It's been pretty humid. And the dew point, the weather guy says, the dew point tells you exactly how much moisture's in the air. And so if it gets to like 79, it's really bad. 80 is sticky as can be. Well, you come inside. All right, Morty's Diner, let's get to that. Now, I behaved myself. I was, the show I watched was Sunday afternoon, my time. So it was on a reasonable hour. So I thought, well, I'll go over and check it out. Very respectful, got in the comments, didn't argue with anybody. But I heard some things that, you cannot be serious. Where are you? All right, but I was, so when I heard these things, I was very respectful. So I come on. I go into the comments, and I say, may I give you two absurdities you have mentioned? Unless you were joking, I'm quite literal, because, I don't understand the show. It's sarcasm, satire. So he said two things. Let's go with the Alaska one first. Here's what he said.
I'm seriously considering moving to Alaska. I think that could be the place for me because I can't stand the hot summers here, and it's just awful, awful. And the forest fire smoke and the deranged people living in Oregon and the Northwest. And there are plenty of twisted people in Alaska too, but I think I would enjoy the weather, the snow and the cold and the animals, and so I'm seriously investigating moving to Alaska.
No way, no how. There's zero probability that will happen, that he'll move to Alaska. Zero. So do I need to even get in and tell you why? I mean, you can figure that one out. I mean, so there's no sense. And he knows that. I don't know why he was, I mean, it's just like, it's a fantasy. Now this is interesting. That I put in initially, Curly is jealous of you. Curly is banned. He can't say that word over there apparently because it didn't show up. So I had to change it to that guy so it would get through. Here's what he said.
I mean, I provoke him a lot, but that's to be expected. But why attack them more? I've thought about this, and one of the reasons, if not the key reason, is I represent everything he, in his life, never, ever could have been. And it's envy, jealousy.
There is not one trace of jealousy in Curly concerning you, Morty. Not one trace. Now, you're making an argument of it, but you don't understand Curly. Now, this is about Curly. You're saying he's jealous of you. There's no way. There's not a trace of it. But he also said, well, I provoke him naturally. Well, I thought you didn't want him to talk about you, so why are you provoking him? That leads a different road. But he says that's to expect, it's expected. Yeah, you provoke somebody, they're going to come back. They'll swing back. But I've been watching these shows over there. I rarely see anything about you. I mean, did I say watch? No, I skim through the shows. I don't watch them. But it's all Oisin O'Malley and Tim Wright. Now, if you want to say he's jealous or maybe has some kind of love thing with O'Shea, that I can buy that. But that he's jealous of you, Morty, not a trace. Not a trace. He's a sociopath, I agree with that. Not a psychopath, sociopath. But he's not, he likes to destroy, he likes to troll. When he first came in, he told you what he was. So that should have told everyone, just stay away. Oh, the back. Let's see. Okay, so that's about it on Morty. Unless you guys want to disagree with me. And here's a close-up of that hedge. But the colors don't come out. I mean, it's really different colors. I'll have to watch it back on the television. It looks so dull. But it looks different on the camera. And that's the front. And there's the other side. Say goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. The hedge monster. Sanctimonious. Okay, Davy Smalls, yeah. Which is it, the smoke or the people? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, Davey. Which is it, the smoke or the people? Victimhood, okay, that's right. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want somebody to talk about you, but you know you're provoking them, why? Why would you provoke them? You want them to talk about you. Virtue and being the victim, you're virtuous. There's always a boogeyman. I agree with you. I just thought that's all it is, a little commentary, that's all. I could go further, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go further. Now, what do we have? Let's get into the meat and potatoes. A disclosure, UAP disclosure. Well, first, before we do that, I have to tell you about this gentleman, Robert T. Bigelow. Now, this is not a YouTuber, okay? This is he's the upper 0.001%. He's a billionaire. Let's see. So I wanted an executive summary, blah, blah. Okay. Robert Bigelow, Bigelow Aerospace, Unidentified Anomalous Phenomenon, Extraterrestrial Claims. Robert T. Bigelow, before I play the audio, you got to know something about the guy, is an American businessman who built his fortune primarily through real estate and the budget suites of America, hotel chain, and later financed aerospace. He financed aerospace, unidentified phenomena, and paranormal research. He founded Bigelow Aerospace in 1999 to develop expandable space habitats. Okay, that brings back, because you'll hear it in his comments with George Knapp, that he was in a committee meeting with RFK Jr., and it was about habitat for the homeless, and then RFK Jr. went off the rails. Asked him about aliens, and I'll play that for you. Bigelow's telling of it. Separately, organizations funded or controlled by Bigelow conducted investigations involving reports of unidentified objects, alleged paranormal activity, and possible extraterrestrial phenomenon. Bigelow's interest in unidentified objects and possible extraterrestrial activity predates Bigelow Aerospace. In 1995, he established the National Institute for Discovery Science, a privately funded organization. He privately funded it, that investigated unidentified flying objects, animal mutilations, alleged paranormal events, and other anomalous reports. In 1996, Bigelow purchased a ranch in Utah that became widely known as Skinwalker Ranch. I stay out of that because I think that has some occult to it. Investigators associated with the National Institute for Discovery Science studied reports at the property involving unusual lights, unidentified flying objects, alleged creatures, animal mutilations, and other reported anomalous phenomenon. The National Institute for Discovery Science ceased active operations in 2004. Bigelow retained ownership of the ranch until selling it in 2016. Bigelow Aerospace. Bigelow Aerospace was established in 1998 as a commercial aerospace company concentrating primarily on expandable spacecraft and orbital habitat technology. Its conventional aerospace work included development of prototype inflatables or expandable space habitats. The company's most prominent government aerospace project was the Bigelow Expandable Activity Module, which the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, contacted Bigelow Aerospace to provide for $17.8 million. It was launched in 2016 and attached to the International Space Station as expandable habitat technology demonstration. Okay, so NASA was working with Bigelow Aerospace. Bigelow Aerospace Advanced Space Studies was established for advanced aerospace research. They won a government contract administered by the DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency. An official Defense Intelligence Agency program briefing identifies Bigelow Aerospace Advanced Space Studies as winning the contractor and states as the winning contractor, and states the contract commenced on September 1, 2008. Advanced Aerospace Weapons Systems Applications Program, that's ASAP. According to the 2024 historical report issued by All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO, congressional appropriations totaling approximately $22 million supported the effort. The Defense Intelligence Agency established a program to investigate long-term and emerging advanced aerospace technologies that could potentially represent threats to the United States. So he's not your average guy. He's not your average guy with an opinion, okay? He knows a lot. He knows a lot. And let's see more about Aero. Okay, let's see. I don't want to read you the whole thing. let's see, ARROW, the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office report says the contractor conducted unidentified flying object research with the support of the Defense Intelligence Agency program manager. According to the report, activities included reviewing new unidentified flying object cases, examining older Project Blue Book cases, interviewing witnesses and observers, operating investigative teams, discussing or proposing laboratories that could analyze purported recovered unidentified flying objects materials, conducting investigations at the Utah property owned by Bigelow. Where in Utah? Oh, that's Skinwalker Ranch. The All Domain Anomaly Resolution, ARROW, report states the work, okay, that's proper, we don't need to get into that. Advanced Aerospace Threat, ATIP, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, became publicly associated with the same general government effort. Okay. So it goes on and on and on. Oh, now, he also had a relationship with who? Senator, the, what do they call it, the Senate leader? Harry Reid. The program was strongly associated with the late Nevada Senator Harry Reid, who knew Bigelow and shared an interest in investigating unidentified aerial phenomenon. According to the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, ARROW, historical account, Senator Reid directed support towards establishing the effort through defense appropriations. On June 24, 2009, Reid asked the Advanced Aerospace Weapons System Application Program, ASAP, be placed within a highly restricted Department of Defense Special Access Program. The request was not approved. The gatekeepers. Who was the deputy? Let's see. The request was not approved. According to the government report, Deputy Secretary of Defense William Lynn III declined the request following a recommendation from then Undersecretary of Defense, wait for it, James Clapper. Okay, Skinwalker Ranch, I don't want to get into that. Collection, they have a collection of unidentified flying object reports. Bigelow's organization also became involved in civilian reporting of unidentified flying objects. FAA, program products. It goes on and on. The contract ended in 2012 with the Advanced Aerospace Weapons System Application Program, ASAP, ended in 2012. ARROW was terminated because of concerns. That would be the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office within the Defense Intelligence Agency and the Defense Department. There was concerns. Kona Blue, let's see. Afterwards, supporters attempted to establish another highly restricted effort known as Kona Blue within the Department of Homeland Security. That proposed program did not become an operational government program. Well, here's some Robert Bigelow's public statements. According to now, a grain of salt, this is Chat GPT. Bigelow has publicly distinguished himself from many aerospace executives by openly stating his personal belief that extraterrestrial beings have visited the Earth. During a May 2017 interview on CBS 60 Minutes, Bigelow said that he was absolutely convinced extraterrestrial beings exist and indicated that he believed there had been and continued to be extraterrestrial presence on Earth. Let's see. I don't think you need to know that. Okay. Bigelow Aerospace and alleged recovered material. Public reporting beginning in 2017 described facilities associated with Bigelow's organization as being prepared to store or analyze unusual materials associated with unidentified flying object investigations. Okay, I think, okay, he's a serious person, and okay, if anybody wants this file, I can send it to you, PDF. Okay, so we're dealing with someone. Now, on top of all of that, right, Mr. Bigelow got a one-on-one with the President of the United States of America, President Donald J. Trump, 70 minutes. And George Knapp asked him about it. Now, I put the bust of the president there and the UAP. So Mr. Bigelow's on the right. George Knapp, renowned investigative reporter out of KLAS Las Vegas. Are you ready? Now we're going to hear some things. Bigelow, here we go. Let me get this a little wider. Okay, this is a presidential confirmation statement. This is what he wants the president to say, and I'll put it up on the screen as I play it.
In such a short period of time, I only had an average of like 11 minutes per paper to talk about a paper. I wish I had a lot more, but let me read to you something I told him I wanted him to say verbatim, and I described where he should say it, not where a podium existed and a lot of media existed, but I said, I want you to, for example, deliver this statement as you are getting onto Air Force One, and you're about to go through the hatchway through the door, but you stop and talk to the media, and you might say something like, I just want you to hear something. I want to make a statement. And I would said, and this is what I want you to say, Mr. President. A non-human intelligent presence has been on Earth for a very long time, using spacecraft and with performances completely beyond our capabilities and our human physics. And that's it. To say nothing else. That's it. That's all. Because what this is disclosure, and it's actually confirmation. And the two are welded together. These are wedded together. And confirmation has not been officially made by any president.
Yeah, that would be shattering. I added that of our human understanding of, because if they're flying around in our universe, it's the same laws of physics. They don't have different laws of physics than we do. They just understand it better. They can manipulate it, or they have a higher understanding of workarounds. That's what I'm thinking. So I just threw that in there. Back to George Knapp and Robert Bigelow. Pappy Henderson.
I remember I was talking to Sappho Henderson one time, and Pappy Henderson was her husband, and she said, "Well, we were in the grocery store one time, and there's an article in there in one of the magazines about it's finally been revealed about ETs and aliens, and they're in the line, getting their groceries, and he says, 'Oh my God, Sappy,' he says, I guess it's out now. I can actually tell you what I've been doing all these years." He was one of the pilots of one of the cargo planes taking from Roswell in the crash retrieval of Roswell in '47. And so, and then she said to me, well, later, and her daughter was there too, as we were taught, she was relating the story. He had since passed away. But she said it was so funny because he said, I wasn't supposed to know that, because the article really wasn't an expose of fact and of truth.
It was like the Weekly World News talking about
it was
Roswell.
just a cover story to get attention. So you're buying the magazine, where you check out. And so, and he said, oh, well, he said, God, he said, I probably shouldn't have. He said, I guess it was just something that was out there in the magazine, and I shouldn't have told you anything. So don't say anything to anybody.
It sounds like the National Enquirer. Oh, we got a comment. Dodger. I heard that from the 1%er at the fitness center. And I go, oh, what are we going to do? Stop watching the globalist media. They've got to have something. It's always negative. Has to be. Dodger, hey, Docs, I heard the USA running out of ammo. How can that happen? Yeah, you believe CNN, Sky, BBC, all those, None of them like Trump. They're globalists. They support the communists. They're cheering for Iran over America. I think we can manage that pretty well. No, I'm just saying, consider the source. When have they ever given you good news on Trump? It's a political, it's no longer news. It's political activism. That's all it is. Or to get views, like Fox News, to get you in there, to get you all worked up. He's not going to do, he sealed the border, so what are we going to do? He's done a fantastic job. Fantastic job. President not entitled to know. Get rid of this one, hang on.
All right, you're conveying to him, this is real. You need to pay attention to it. You should probably make an announcement at some point, but don't go too far. And you're conveying to him it's serious and that there have been people who've been keeping this secret for a long time, including probably from him. He's made statements here and there, offhanded remarks about UFOs, et cetera.
He's not entitled to know. On unacknowledged SAPs or even acknowledged SAPs, basically, presidents of the United States, and this is kind of rough because this field has more trust in 30-year admirals and generals. That's just, everybody kind of knows that's been around. Politicians come and they go, and so 30-year admirals and generals are much more, in the eyes of folks, people who will stay the course because they're not running for an election. They're not going to be here just for 4 years or 8 years, or if they're a senator for a term of 6 or 12 or 18 or whatever. And they're not, their life is not to please the public. It's not, their life isn't compromised by being a politician. So admirals and generals.
And intelligence agency.
And intelligence officers, of course. But they're not trying to please the public all the time. They're not trying to find compromises between two very diverse, large groups of folks and trying to make as many people happy as they can.
Makes sense to me. Comments? Well, yeah, absolutely. I don't trust any mainstream media. Yeah, they told us Biden was sharp as a tack. They told us about the vaccine. On and on and on. The world is ending. The Great Barrier Reef is being destroyed. Global warming, global cooling. I ain't leading it. Palanca. Who will be the first to start colonizing another planet? Musk, maybe? Oh, God. We got the most beautiful place there is. Count me out. Ladies and gentlemen, we've done 51 minutes. I got to get up and walk around because of my back. So we're going to return to this. But let me walk around. Let me give you the view, and I'll be back. I'll drink some water. I got to walk around. Oh, that feels better. It's amazing how therapeutic walking is. When I hit the fitness center, it takes me a while, but once I get up to 3.5 mile per hour and the pain goes away. Oh, look who's here. Laura Connor. Hello, hello, Lex. Hope you're well. Getting better. I'm going to the fitness center. I don't want to have my back grab me and I sink to the bottom. I did get in the pool once. When I was a kid, I could tread water like anything. I sink like a rock now. It's work to stay afloat. And can you imagine having a back spasm when that happens? I wonder if the doctor's going to give me, the new guy, going to give me a muscle relaxant. I can't remember if I took a extra strength Tylenol. I'll probably do that after I get off the stream. All right, back to George Knapp and Robert Bigelow. Well, where'd you go? Hang on. Well, that's not going to work. That works. Just a messenger, he says. And this is going to have to do with Arizona, the flyover, that 19, whatever it was. And the governor's name was, if you want to learn more about it, because he came clean. He after he left office, he said there's nothing we could tell him. We didn't know. Nothing we could do. Let me put that in the, what was his name? Yeah, it's the March 13th, 1997, Phoenix Lights UFO governor, Fife Symington. I'll put that in the comments in case anybody wants to look it up. Google it. Google.
I was just a messenger. I was just kind of a person that's trying to give him information on a number of different topics. All of them were important. And that's it. And have my 75 minutes and I'm done.
Would you guess based on what you know about the topic and how it's been handled over the decades, would you guess that he had been briefed or that any other presidents had been briefed? You know that Bill Clinton was not, even though he expressed an interest in it. So at some point, the president has to be told, no, we can't tell you.
I think Bush Sr. knew quite a bit because he was the head of the CIA. I think Nixon did. I think Eisenhower did. So it's kind of hit and miss over the period of history as to who has and who hasn't.
Can you tell us what would be in the briefing document that you left behind? Was it cases? Here's a wave of UFOs. Here's a case. Here was a crash. Anything like that?
Yeah. I related conversations I have had with General de Brouwer, who was the chief of the Air Force for Belgium, and there was a very interesting flap that it was about 18 months long with triangular craft, and he was in command of all the Air Force, and he really chased the heck out of these. And he told me, he said, Bob, I'm just burning fuel. And it makes no sense. He said, we're going to stop because we're not getting anywhere. All we're doing is getting closer, photographs and things, but we're not getting anywhere. We're not getting any information that is really valuable for us to understand anything, And I gave him other examples of where large amounts of witnesses were involved, and so that he could read about these particular incidences. And of course, the one with Fife Symington is in '97 was so interesting because there you had a governor who was an actual witness, and he made a joke of it and brought a guy in an alien suit on stage because he was scared to death.
It's the Phoenix Lights case.
The Phoenix Lights, which weren't just lights. It was actually friggin' craft, and it came from northern Arizona. I think it started actually in southern Nevada is where the craft began. And in the Henderson area, I think, somewhere in there. And So you see this huge triangular craft, gigantic craft, going slowly, and he was scared to death. But finally, fast forward 10 years later, and he confesses that he was an eyewitness, but he didn't know what to do. So he was there at a point in time when the dynamic of disclosure could have been forced, and actually a confirmation could have been from a governor of the state like that. He was a credible guy. So we've had many incidences like that where they, in the early 50s, flying over the White House and the Capitol building. We've had so many of those. So in my report, I included a lot of very dramatic, beyond a reasonable doubt kind of witnesses of exhibitions.
Once again, link in the description. You can hear the entire discussion between George Knapp and Robert T. Bigelow. But I got more clips. I think these are excellent. Human, non-human.
You use the term non-human intelligence in the sentence you gave him. Hey, try this as you're climbing aboard Air Force One. Say that to media, and then close the door.
Right.
You said non-human intelligence, not ET. Are they the same? And did you share anything with him about what you think it is?
Well, there have been reports of humans on board, right? But the non-human are more interesting. I mean, if a human's on board and he or she has free reign of the craft, that's pretty damn interesting, right? And you don't know where those people are when they're not on board. So, but the other ones some are scary, some, it's not surprising that in the universe, everything is going to look like us. Every intelligent organism is going to look like us. But you have to have, it's also a matter of respect for any really intelligent animal or creature, whatever it is, right? And the more advanced, the more respect, because you don't know what they know, and you don't know the future, and they may know more than just the now.
That's the first time I heard that there were humans, our brothers and sisters, on these spacecraft. I'm more interested in them. I think what they could tell you. And this is what I was trying to tell Dr. Bob yesterday, but my audio was so screwed up. And once again, I apologize for that. I use a virtual mic, and it's not going to operate when I go on other channels. So I learned my lesson, I think, until I screw up again. But remember, we had when the Comanches or the Indians, they would take out a settlement, and then they would gather the kids, and they would raise the kids. So I wonder, could it happen on this kind of scale, where they take them as very young and teach them whatever they got to teach them, and they become like we know as humans we have these senses most of us don't use. So maybe they know how to get it out of us, out of the ones they as taken, kidnapped, for a better word. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just speculating. It's all speculation. I got all these things open. Okay. President of the United States would make history.
But the confirmation is a huge appetizer to start with. And that's why I started with that in my conversation with him, is pushing him to try and make a confirmation. And maybe he wants to get personally more comfortable. He will go down in history for a lot of things, for better or worse, that people are on both sides of the fence about him and so forth. But he's involved in so many different things and has been that I don't know what his legacy is going to be. I really don't. He has an opportunity to, in this serious subject, to build a legacy using this as part of the blocks, part of the brick and the structure of the content of a structure that is very unique. So you can have all the political programs that you want and so forth, and nobody is going to really remember those. As time goes by, as the decades fade away, nobody can Remember Benghazi and Afghanistan and Iraq, different kinds of things. And that's just recent history. You know, the world goes so fast. But the president that took on the challenge of disclosure and of confirmation and actually built a satisfactory conclusion of a relationship between human beings and that subject is going to go down in history as having really accomplished something. And if it's handled right, it can be done successfully.
As the graphic shows, it's going to upset a lot of people. My neighbors. And how does it help? It's a real, and once you open the box, once you make that announcement, you can never walk it back. Oh, we had a comment. Oh, I think I missed it. No, we didn't have a comment. All right, we continue. All right, Mr. Bigelow, Robert T. Bigelow, if you were president of the United States.
If you were president, would you announce that, yes, we've got crash retrievals, yes, we have reverse engineering programs, and yes, we've got bodies?
Yeah, because the rest of the world already knows that. The people that count in Russia and China already know.
Because they've got their own.
Oh, yeah, freaking yes. Yeah, they've had their missiles shut down. They've had their missiles activated, you know, depending on which country you're talking about.
There you go. Thank you, Mr. Bigelow. Absolute complicity.
I think the gatekeepers are yes, they should definitely have a role in terms of communication. Absolutely.
Well, let's talk about the gatekeepers, because that's part of your recommendation to the president is give them a free pass on clear them from legal liability for whatever has happened. Give them a pardon ahead of time.
Right.
And take the pressure off of them so that they can convey information that's been kept secret.
Yeah, because it all started with the government. That's where this all began. Maybe the private corporations have participated perhaps in a retrieval or two, but basically it's our own government that has sanctioned this in the private sector with all these companies. So not all, I mean, with these few companies. It's not like shame on the corporate world because there always has been a partnership. They're complicit. The United States government is absolutely, totally complicit in any kind of process of back engineering or anything to do with ETs, any kind of contact in one way or another with ETs, absolutely complicit. And so nobody can be a hypocrite on this level, you know. So yeah, the gatekeepers are extremely valuable. They absolutely need to be included in any communication process.
So you would say, for sure, you know that the government, our government, military, intelligence agencies have recovered crash disks or materials or mechanisms, machinery, advanced machinery from somewhere else, and that we've handed that over to contractors to figure it out.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Yes. Yes, I am sure.
That's from Robert T. Bigelow. He is sure. And again, there's a link in the description if you want to hear the complete interview with George Knapp and Robert T. Bigelow. Craft and beings.
So there's two areas of seriousness in what you just said. One is craft and one is bodies or living beings. The craft is fair game in terms of not to be so concerned, are we stepping on somebody's toes, the other's toes, if they have toes. Okay. The bodies are also higher level, but probably fair game as well, because they're anthropomorphic robotic type of beings, or they're all biological.
Biological robots, androids, something like that.
But with what respect have they been treated? Or, is it like autopsies have been done, or has it just been necropsies like you would do on a cow? With what respect have they been treated? Were they ever given a burial ceremony or whatever? Living ones is a whole different level. That's where you don't want to make that decision alone.
Your guess would be we've had living ones, right?
Yeah, that's my guess. And I think that I think that's a whole different level of respect and interaction.
Maybe we're already in high-level talks with them. Kazakhstan, UAP.
Let's talk about, cousin to what you just asked me. So we can talk about the Russian retrieval case in 88 or 89.
Kazakhstan.
Yeah. And from that 5-digit military unit, 730, what you blank, that was the main unit that was their job, to an unknown city that they took everything to. And they found a device on board that was able to be engineered into a very powerful laser. Because that's what we do. We weaponize every thing, instead of saying, how can we create more food or whatever, like Levengood did with the microwaves on crops and seeds that grew much better. So purportedly, the device was extremely powerful. Somebody got hurt or killed, maybe. The intel source was highly reliable. You were part of Thread 3. You managed to get out of there with documents that we helped translate.
Yep.
Yeah. So you know about what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And so have we had opportunity? More than likely, sure, to do the same kind of thing. So when you sit here and say, well, I don't know about anything that we've probably been successful on, I would say, well, what are the odds that we haven't been? Sure, we have been, because what are the odds? If Russia is able to achieve something like that, why can't Lockheed or I'm not going to name names, but these other companies do the same thing? So people are working on it are not dummies. So you and I can sit here and say, well, probably.
How about most likely? Final one. But people do not like this topic. 5 people watching, but you're hanging in there. It's not for everybody, but it interests me, and I'm keeping you abreast of things. RFK Jr., Spirit World.
So he starts right off the bat saying, okay, I want to know what all this guns and attacks are all about with aliens and all these who's gotten killed and this and that kind of thing. And so
he's talking about the alleged gun battle at Skinwalker Ranch.
I don't know which one he's talking about, but I'm taken completely off guard. And this wasn't what I expected. I'm there for a whole different reason.
Is this a whole big group of people?
Oh yeah. And
right, he's announcing this?
He's letting it all hang out in front of everybody. And so I'm saying, well, I said, well, I don't know anything about those. I don't have any firsthand information at all, and I wouldn't think I would take it that serious.
It sounds like he's read about the scuttlebutt that is untrue, that there was a shootout on Skinwalker Ranch between your security guys and aliens got killed.
Nothing like that ever happened.
Right.
We had one thing happened to one of our security guards where he was sleeping. He was forced to sit up in bed. He couldn't move. He was paralyzed. He could move his eyes. There was a being of some kind. This was in the double-wide trailer. There was a being of some kind doing this to him. And it stopped right before he started to black out or be choked to death. That concerned me a lot. And that was just prior. That concerned me a lot. So, but we had another security officer that had a very similar episode happen from a hitchhiker here in Las Vegas in his apartment.
Followed him home.
Yeah, and it happened twice to him. And it was the same kind of thing, only he was able, in the first case, the fellow was being smothered, like he was being smothered to death if it hadn't stopped. In the second case, our fellow had one of the two experiences he was able to see what his attacker looked like. It was a woman that wasn't touching him. She was at the foot of his bed. She was blonde, short-haired, blue eyes, wore clothing that looked like it was in style 100 or 150 years ago, and she had a very mean look on her face. And I'm not making any of this up,
I think I
George.
dated this woman, so go ahead.
I like that. That's funny. So
They were serious. These are serious things that happen.
So this was a human spirit. This is not an ET, because remember we were talking before about we live in a three-dimensional world, but there's a sister dimension that completely coexists with us, with physicality.
Very interesting.
And it's the spirit world, and that's what she was. It wasn't an ET.
I think that's quite a distinction there. I think he's probably right on that one. I think we're getting into the occult with demons and the darkness, and but there's spirit. You are connected spiritually. You don't know it, see, but you are. All right. That is your main presentation today of the DOXX Report. Let's go back outside. I got to get up and walk around, but I'll be back. No, took an extra strength Tylenol. Might as well. That's the show for today. I was, let's see, show you something here. Not that. Oh, there's the recliner. You know, I was thinking, if Morty, well, not Morty, let's say somebody else made it up to Alaska, what would a grizzly bear rug look like in my living room? What would that look like? Oh, there it is. Nah, I don't think it's going to work. Not going to work. What do we do? 1 hour, 22 minutes. Did I cover everything? Let's go to the outline. Oh, you know who else is in the mix now? UAP. Dr. Phil, he had a good point. He says, like, who's the gatekeeper here? Who's actually in charge of releasing this stuff? I think it's more by committee. I would think certainly, you got to be signed off by, I think, Secretary Rubio. He knows everything. But what else did he say? He says, we know from this latest release, he says there was a PDF file. I have it, but it's not, it happened, well, where is it? Yeah, it was a document, federal FBI document, and he said, he says there's two things. One of them was this document that we know they exist, but it was like, capture, it was a couple Air Force guys, redacted, 2 pilots, there was something that was blacked out over Bagram. Is that Afghanistan? Bagram. It appears as if something huge went overhead from west to east and was an equilateral triangle shape. The object was moving silently at a consistent speed and altitude, possibly 150 knots, with no lights visible. Estimated it was 500 feet in size, but he could not fully see the shape of the object. The other pilot said, also observed with a triangle, and when it passed over, stated, "Did you see that?" Stated he did not further discuss the sighting with anyone else, nor did he hear anyone else discuss the sighting. So, there's so much material out there. Again, I say they're inoculating us for the big disclosure. How far will they go? No one knows. We're going to do 1 hour, 30 minutes. I'm surprised I made it this far. But this shop stool really works. It's 30 inches tall, and I can kind of keep my back straight. And this mic, this Elgato, I can put up, I can elevate it. But the other one, I had to get some pieces for the Shure microphone. No comments. Well, thanks for stopping by. 125. Who do we have here? We had Tea and Tickers earlier. We had Dodger. Who else? Stephen L. He was a big help. He told me my audio was off. Davey Smalls. B-Tech. I don't know. Is that Eddie? Not sure. It's hard to know. I got an email from somebody. They gave me their name. I wish they wouldn't do that because I don't want to use the name. I need the avatar. Just stay with your avatar is best with me. Laura Connor came by. Palanca, mega value customer. But I'm back in the saddle. See, I enjoy streaming. Not asking for money. I don't need your money. So I'm speculating. We got a few minutes left here. Speculating with the dungeon. They're trying. And also the fact that Archie is he's going to be gone entirely. He's just dropping off. So somebody has to take over that area. And I think they're looking at it like a financial gain. I don't think it'll ever be financially feasible. So, but if you want to be in there and have some fun with it, but Again, but if it's not fun, why bother, right? So I enjoy it. I enjoy getting some material up there. I don't have to be on a panel. I don't have to argue with anybody. I can give views or give material. But I think it's Tanzil is probably the owner of the dungeon. And probably, but he that's his playground. See, Archie's channel has always been his playground. Well, now he's got to get a new playground. So he bought the dungeon, I think. Set that up. And I don't think, did Higgins put up any money? I think Pavel said it. No. He was a proxy. And then, of course, Tanzil will be involved, but it's Greenroom who's trying to get some, shake it up. But it's costing him some grief. I mean, there's a lot of, he had to take down a stream. So here we go. DOXX's Rebel streaming tea and tickers. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Maybe, I'll send you over there. I didn't know that. I didn't check. What time did he come on? I'm sorry. Sorry about that, tickers. Let's go. Maybe I send you some people. 4. But we talk about totally different things. Hang on. Tea and tickers. When did he come on? Tuesday at 9 p.m. Oh, how many minutes has he been on? Oh, come on. Oh, let's see. He's been on for 45 minutes. Well, I didn't look. I can't look. It's like if you want to watch him, go over there. We got totally different topics. I mean, I do my thing, he does his thing, but we're not in the same arena at all. I don't do watch talkover. I enjoy my watches. I got G-Shocks, Casios. I mean, once you start buying a G-Shock, they send you stuff, the new stuff. They think I'm going to buy another one, but you get up to the $900 range, $1,000 on a G-Shock. I'll wait till it comes down. And how many watches do you need? I enjoy them. I wear one to bed every night, and I don't leave the house without one. Of course, I got the Apple Watch for the fitness center, which I quite like. Gives me my heart rate, and I hooked it up with the scale, and I'm weighing myself every day. And I popped up this morning. I was like 202. I got down to 199 point something. Now I went up to, so I'm going to weigh at least 4 times a day, just tracking it. One guy at the fitness center said, well, don't obsess on it. Well, no, but I don't want to be kidding myself. I want to, it's now a game, and I want to lose weight and keep it off, The heart rate goes down and everything else. All right, 1 hour, 30 minutes.